Hello and welcome to episode 25 of the JurassicWorld.org podcast, sponsored by Famous IDs. Use coupon code JWORG for 20% discount on the website and visit our sponsors JurassicFangear.com for some pretty awesome merchandise. I'm joined with Chris and Asees. Hey guys.
Good morning.
Hi.
It's very early for them, but it's even earlier for our special guest, Ryan, aka Ryan. Hey,
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morrow. You've written for a couple of articles for us now, and you're kind of becoming one with the JurassicWorld.org team.
Yeah. It's been a while since I posted, but thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's good to have you on.
This is overdue.
It is. There's so many. There's like a big list of names of people we want to get on the podcast. It's just so hard trying to schedule everything with work and sleep and that old bean. So I think one of the I think I gotta ask every guest that comes on, what do you think of Jurassic World?
Oh, that is the $1 million question, my friends. So I mean, it's kind of weird as talking with you guys about this, because I mean, I've listened to all the podcasts, and when you guys talk about it, I'm sitting there listening, going, "Yes, that's exactly what I think." And and you guys nail it on the head in a lot of tones. But okay, for me, Jurassic World was the embodiment of exactly what Colin said it would be, which was a tribute back to your childhood for those original JP viewers, and even those who watched The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. I loved in the Blu-ray how he said he tried to embody all three movies. So the hype was there. I thought the movie looked good overall, but I even to this day I have days where I'm like, Jurassic World, it's too good, and then there's days where I'm like, fuck this, and I can't put my finger on it. It's just like there's elements both story wise, character wise, that are great, and then there's things about the story and the characters and even the special effects that I just can't help but pull apart and break down and go like, come on guys, I feel like this could have done a little bit better. But I thought Colin nailed it on the head as far as recapturing that Jurassic Park feeling moment. Because I got a feeling that I got in Jurassic Park and The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 kind of all wrapped up into Jurassic World. So if that was his intention, I got it. I mean, it was there, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's next. And I'm also extremely, extremely worried. So...
Yeah, I mean, I kind of get that. I think we can all agree that what Colin and Derek did do for the franchise was an incredible thing. It moved it in a direction that it had to go. But the film itself, there are flaws, and they're kind of, for like diehard fans, I think they're flaws that unfortunately sway one's opinion, much like Asees. Asees hates the film.
Yeah, it's my least favorite. It sucks so much knowing you waited 14 or whatever years to watch your least favorite film in the franchise.
That's crazy, right? That's crazy.
I think part of the issue, and I'm not discounting the fact that you don't like it as much, but I also do think you overwatched it in a short amount of time working at a movie theater. I think that part of that, I think it did contribute to that a little bit. I'm not saying that your opinions aren't actually valid. They probably stand, but I think they're amplified because
I think it just burned out faster than most people will. Like people will start realizing soon enough that how they were blinded by the fandom. I think.
I mean, you've got
what happened. I was just going to say, what happened with JP3? Because I was quite young when that film came out, and I loved it, and the internet wasn't what it was like now back then, so there wasn't as much people talking about how crazy it was or how good it was or how bad it was. But I remember there was, on the forums I used to go on, there was quite a change in people saying, yeah, it was good, and then all of a sudden it became the worst movie ever made, and people began to realise that it was so crap. But I mean, is that what happened with JP3? Or?
I had that reaction.
I
remember going to see it, and I had the utmost joy watching it the first time, but then second, I remember when it came out on Blu-ray, or DVD, I guess, at the time, I went, this is shit. And I'd only seen it maybe 2 or 3 times, but sorry, Chris, didn't mean to step on you there.
No, that's fine. Yeah, you know what? I might be the one person I know that actually walked out of the theater for Jurassic Park 3, like little kid me, like, I did not like that movie.
Really?
Yeah, I did not like it. I really didn't like it. In fact, like, I didn't want anything to do with the toys. I didn't buy the toys or anything like that. It wasn't until like a few years later that I was just kind of like, I guess I should get these because I have all the other ones. Yeah, no, I just really did not like it. I liked bits of it. Some bits like really fascinated me, like the Embryonics Administration and the Velociraptors and the Pteranodons. Like my imagination was running wild with some of the things that it introduced. But overall, I just did not like it. It was just kind of, it like fizzled out, and it was very cheesy and just like it had like no charm.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I kind of see that, but when I was a kid, I remember watching Jurassic Park 3 and loving every minute of it. Obviously, you see past those faults when you're a kid, and especially when you're a crazy, ridiculous fan. But like, I was scared during JP3, and I was scared of the raptors, and I was scared of everything.
Yeah, there were some
Jurassic World was not scary.
Yeah.
No one was in danger in Jurassic World.
I agree. Jurassic World did a horrible job of like making scenes scary, because what would normally be a drawn-out scene that was quite intense actually wrapped itself up very quickly. Things like the Indominus Rex breakout happens like, you know, the whole breakout sequence. She's out the door in a second.
Yeah. And it's cool. That was a good scene, but
it could have been drawn out. In my opinion, I think they could have played on the tension of like just basically this animal's out, and that's kind of a big deal. Even though we've seen a dinosaur break out of a paddock before, I still think it's a pretty big deal in this case, because we haven't seen a dinosaur break out of a paddock filled with a bunch of park goers, and I think that it should have played on that tension a little bit more. Scenes like the Pteranodon attack, I would have liked to see a little bit more of what they were doing and what happened to them, but otherwise I think that scene was handled very well.
It was a good scene. It was a lot to deal with, But I mean, going on that, this is just an interesting point I want to bring up. I've been talking quite a bit now to a guy who was an extra. He was an InGen soldier in the film, and he told me all about the scenes they shot. You know, where the raptors kind of turn.
Oh, Raptor Dark 30.
Go back on prep. Yeah, that whole sequence. And he was telling me a lot about that, and he shot. I may be misquoting him, but he shot consecutively on that for 2 weeks. And there was a lot they shot. He said it felt like an entire sequence based on Alien, the original Alien. It was slow and it was creepy, and it really gave the chance of the raptors to become terrifying and hunt the soldiers. I mean, in the end of the movie, we obviously know what we saw, which was this super quick scene where the raptors just, they're not even scary when they turn. I don't know. There was no tension in that scene.
I think that scene is tense in the same sense that the scene in Aliens, the second Alien film, is tense, where we watch the Colonial Marines get picked out when they go inside of the hive, and Ripley has to bust in with a tank and catch the survivors.
Yeah.
When they were in there, they couldn't use live ammunition because they're in like the reactor core. I think it had that same. I mean, it was the same feel, like, because they're watching them in the command center get taken out left and right. They're hearing gunfire, and it has that same type of sense where it's just like they're being decimated. The difference being is there were only two main characters in that scene, and you knew they were both going to walk out of it alive. If we were introduced to some of those characters, I think it maybe would have had a little bit more tension, because there would have been a little bit more just gravity weighing on what happens to them.
They should have killed Barry in there. That would have made the scene have more gravity or something, more weight behind it.
Yeah, but I have to admit, what was Barry's character like? The whole relationship between Owen and Barry,
Man, there was nothing there. There was nothing.
Yeah, no, there was. I mean, I'm fascinated. I would like to see Barry return. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be like, why is this guy returning? I would be more like, oh, cool. Maybe we can figure out what this guy's story is. Like, maybe we can get some whole dynamic between him and Owen, because it's hinted at. Just we never get to see it. And where's the fun in that?
Yeah, I mean, Colin talked about it so much.
Yeah,
I talked about all these in-depth backgrounds of the characters, but I mean,
it's probably on his head like every other character's backstory. He just didn't put it to the paper for whatever reason.
I feel like a lot of these things were probably on paper at a point, but to make the movie flow, a lot of them got chopped. Think of that when the script sides leaked, when we had Hamada's side, where Hamada was in the Indominus Rex paddock giving the speech about how he owned a snake as a child and how it was pretty calm until they fed it like a live animal, and then after that it was like it would always bite the hand, and basically like you don't want to feed the Indominus something that moves and bleeds. It was this really, really cool monologue, something that I think Jurassic World only tapped into when Masrani and Wu talked to each other.
As well as when Hoskins said about the wolf.
Yeah, although
that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
but it wasn't as I mean, I loved Hoskins as a character. I think he was one of my favorite characters. A lot of people didn't like him.
Yeah, I think when they didn't like him, it was like more like they enjoyed to dislike him. Like you're meant to dislike him. I'm not sure if they disliked his character. Like he was fun.
I just thought he played it well, the way he kind of jumps around like a bubbly kid kind of thing. And he's just this prick.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I thought it was good. So Ryan, like, any specifics on like what it was that didn't work for you?
There's a few. Well, my biggest.
You said it is hard to pinpoint.
It's so hard to pinpoint because, like, I naturally, and I think we all agree. Like, I mean, Asees kind of said it. We all naturally want to love it so much, and it's like I'm trying to love the problem child in an elementary class or something that just is driving me up the wall, and my biggest issue, guys, I think, was special effects. Aziz, I know you've talked about it a little bit, where like the Indominus looked fantastic. I thought the Raptors looked like crap.
Yeah.
And
they looked decent during the nighttime, in my opinion. Like when Delta was in the lab, I thought she looked great. And
no, she looked like a cartoon.
No, she looked okay.
So much.
In the lab, she looked she did not look like a cartoon in the lab. She looked really good in the lab, but oh my god, they looked awful during the daytime shots. And it wasn't a case of like CG looking more raw during daytime. No, I mean, it wasn't ILM San Francisco that did those shots. Unsurprisingly, it doesn't look good. It was a lot of houses contributed in a very short amount of time, and this CG I don't think it was given the amount of time it needed for it to convey properly what it was trying to convey.
Well, I mean, they had all the time in the world. They finished early, as far as we heard.
Sure, they had all the time in the world in terms of the movie, but I still think the CG just wasn't given its proper breathing room.
Yeah. Especially in when they're in the holsters, when Barry and Vic are talking, and I'm sitting there cringing because it just like it's some of the worst CGI I've seen in a Jurassic Park film, at least.
Well, you know what
I'm thinking? Why didn't you use a prop? This is a perfect opportunity for you to use a prop, and even if this was one of the only times other than the Apatosaurus. Like, oh god, it would have looked so great, but
because they touch it, they interact with it. I literally, that makes no sense to me. Why was that not an animatronic?
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea. Not to mention, like, it doesn't make sense that it's not an animatronic. Even if the CG was really good, I would still go, why wasn't it an animatronic? But at least it looks good.
Yeah.
But no, I mean they do look like those. They look like cartoons there. Like Asees said. Because of their eyes. There was something really wrong with their eyes, but on top of that, their skin texture, it was way too flexible. It was like their skin was made out of rubber.
It was too shiny looking.
It was like shiny.
Weird.
Well, I don't know if shiny's even the way. It looked like it was made out. Their skin looked soft and flexible. And
because he kind of grabs the jowls of the raptor, and that's kind of. I liked it, but then I was like, but that's not right.
None of it looked like the texture of the skin that the raptors. Even like later on in the movie, the raptor's skin looks more hard. And I mean, it looks like more scute heavy and calcified and thicker skinned. I mean, not like a crocodile, but something like that. And then, but there, for some reason, like even when they snarl, it doesn't look right. It does not look like something that their skin should be able to do. It's really weird, and they just did a lot of it's one of those cases with CG that you can do so much with it. You can animate it and give it so much life that sometimes you do too much and then it starts to look funky. And I think that's what
Star
it is.
Wars prequel style.
Where they started to they gave it all these muscle flexes and the breathing in its cheeks, but it just doesn't look like a velociraptor anymore. It looks like a velociraptor head behaving the way the muscles of a horse's head behave. It's just weird looking. It just does not. The skin texture and fluidity just did not seem right to me.
Yeah. First third of the film, especially when we're introduced to the raptors, I actually thought that looked pretty good. In fact, I'm even watching it right now off to the side, and I think it looks great.
He's obsessed.
I think the middle part of the film, for some reason, lost me, both visually and story wise. And then the last third of the film, like everybody else, especially from Chasing the Indominus on, is fantastic. And if I have to think about a character, the only character that I would throw out is Vivian. I could not stand Vivian.
I love Lauren Lapkus. How dare you?
I love Lauren, but Vivian as a character, especially when she's sitting there crying, and I think even Jake, like the way Jake looked at her, I would have looked at her the same. Like, get yourself together.
Those are the only two characters that actually did some emoting in that entire movie.
Yeah, but it felt a little bit forced.
I don't know, man.
I felt like their romantic gag scene was just so please, that should have been cut.
Wait, Chris, wasn't Anna Kendrick supposed to play that role though?
Oh god.
Yeah, okay, we can say
Jake Johnson
say that now. We can say that now.
Yeah, we can say that stuff. Yeah.
I'm Anna Kendrick. Yeah, she was up. She was more than up for a role. She basically had a role, but when the movie was delayed from 2014 to 2015, it
Pitch
changed.
Perfect?
Yeah,
Thank God.
I think Pitch Perfect got in the way.
How dare you, Jack? How dare you?
I hate her so much.
She's so lovely.
She's not.
Oh, man.
She would have ruined. It's like having Keira Knightley in Jurassic Park 4. I was just praying that never happened.
It's so weird.
Jake Johnson and Anna Kendrick work so well together.
It's so weird that made it so far that she talked about in interviews back in the day that Keira Knightley was actually that close to Jurassic Park 4, but that was in 2003.
I genuinely though, depending on what the story was, it just sounded like they were going to kill the franchise with that. Let's get Hollywood's biggest actress to run away from some dinosaurs. It just it didn't seem right.
I mean, hell, it wasn't even going to be dinosaurs at that point. That was when the John Sayles Dino Huogs were hotting in the action.
God damn, that shit sounds so tight. I want to watch that so bad.
Did you see?
This is why I can't take. I can't figure out your opinions.
Make no sense. They make no sense.
I can't you're the dinosaurs weren't right, but damn, I would love to see some dinosaur human hybrids chasing something.
I mean, if you're gonna make,
I don't know what voice I just gave you because it was not you.
He's like a southerner. But damn,
I want to see some dinosaurs. Dino Huogs.
God, no, please.
Speaking of early Jurassic Park 4, can we talk about real quick how Joe Johnson passed on Jurassic Park 4?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
that
God.
blew my mind.
People started leaning into him, unfortunately. I thought it was a fascinating thing that was worth tagging, but if you're going to say, is there more to the story? Untag the guy from the conversation, at least. I would my feed kind of lit up with people going he sounds like a baby, and they're still talking directly to him. I'm like, oh god, guys, at least
Joe Johnson sounds like a baby.
Yeah, well, because they said it sounds like they're calling him resentful and bitter, which I'm not sure how exactly they got that from.
Did you retweet it?
Yeah, I retweeted it.
See,
with
it's
a
you,
comment.
Chris. It's you.
I know, it's
and your crazy, weird followers.
They're just so interactive. I can't help it. I'm a monster.
No, I found that amazing. Just for anyone who hasn't seen, I'm just trying to find the tweet. Where did he say it?
You have to aim higher. Something along those lines.
It was. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Maybe he didn't dig Jurassic World so much.
I don't think he did, but he'd never say it.
No, okay. Here's the deal.
Hollywood, man.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't dislike Joe Johnson as a director. I dislike him as a Jurassic Park director. And also, I think he probably pulled out around 2011, which is when Mark Provistic. What the fuck is that?
I love the way you say names, Chris.
Dude, I don't remember. I just remember it's got a P-R-O-T. Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
What's his name? I don't remember it.
God, I don't know.
Prostivec.
That sounds like a cool name.
That's not how you say it. I'm just guessing.
Well, let's just go with that. I like it.
Okay, so Joe Johnston said in a reply, he said some guy was asking about sending him a Jurassic script. Joe Johnston said, "I passed on Jurassic 4 brackets Jurassic World. You should aim higher within the franchise if that's what your dream is." And then thanks. Crazy. And then somebody said, "Why did you pass?" Blah blah blah. And he said, "Not up for discussion. Very confidential. Good luck with your career." But right?
It sound on
He passed on it.
That hurts me a little bit.
That's crazy. I thought they very gently pushed him away.
And I still think that might be what happened. Obviously, though, like, it might be one of those things where they kind of came to a mutual, both parties wanted him to pass. He wanted to pass. Universal wanted him to pass, and it kind of came into that thing. However, remember, he was talking Jurassic Park 4 up until 2011 or so. Like,
he was the one saying it's a new trilogy.
It's a new trilogy, and we're doing crazy things, and it's going to be scary, and, he was kind of mirroring what Jack Horner was saying. He was on.
I like the scary thing.
He was on. Well, I mean, when they said scary, they were talking about dinosaur-human hybrids. I mean,
I don't think they were.
No, they were. I talked to Horner myself.
But Joe Johnston had an interview in like 2010, and he said, "No, that script's long gone."
It wasn't long gone in the sense. I mean, the human. That's
come straight from Joe Johnston.
No. I mean, I'm saying the humans being part of the hybrids were out of it, but genetically modified dinosaurs weren't long gone.
Why
did we all knew that was going to be the case?
Yeah, why does Universal want genetically modified?
No, it wasn't Universal. It was Spielberg. This was.
God damn it, Steven Spielberg!
This has been what Steven Spielberg decided that he wanted. He basically he wanted to genetically modify the dinosaurs, and he wanted military versus dinosaur, and
get that old fart out of here.
And he wanted somebody to work with the dinosaurs cooperatively.
Can you imagine if that's why Joe Johnston passed?
Because
he was like, "I'm so not into that idea. It's crap."
I feel like he would have passed sometime well before 2011. Like, I mean, that idea was around since 2002, and he was gung-ho. So I think, honestly, I think what he wasn't on board with was a new park, which I think is one of the best things about Jurassic World.
I disagree so much with that, but we'll talk about that later.
I think that a new park was not only absolutely essential to move the plot forward, I think it is absolutely just a dream come true as a viewer. Now, did the movie fully, I don't want to say exploit, but did the movie fully live up to that setting's potential? Not necessarily, it's not in my opinion. But I think it's still a fantastic concept to see come to life.
Yeah. No, I think we all didn't know that we wanted to see that, and then we finally got to see it, and it was kind of like, yeah, actually, that's where it needed to go. But
I took a 9 and an 11-year-old to see the movie, and as soon as it was out, they exclaimed, "That was the best movie I have ever seen in my life." So, yeah, to say the least, it's having a very similar effect on kids that the original had on us. Is it as smartly crafted? No, not necessarily, not in my opinion. I think it's a little bit more action heavy. It seems like they could have, I think Colin and Derek easily could have wrote a movie that felt
really
more
dumbed
Jurassic
down,
Park. But I think they chose, again, if it were an Indiana Jones movie, it could be a weird-ass Indiana Jones movie. But if it were an Indiana Jones movie, the tone and pacing, it all works.
It's real fun, yeah. It's a real fun movie.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie at all. It might not be the Jurassic movie that you expected or you wanted. But if you divorce yourself from your certain expectations, I think that you can still appreciate the film and have a lot of fun with it. I enjoy it. I like the movie.
Chris, do you like dinosaurs?
No.
No, like legitimately though. Legit question.
Legit question. That's a really tough question.
I'm assuming you do.
Yeah, I would guess so. I don't know.
Okay, Jack, do you like dinosaurs?
Yeah, I guess.
Ryan, do you like dinosaurs?
They're alright.
Okay.
I think Asees is about to say he doesn't like dinosaurs and be entirely serious.
I don't give a shit about dinosaurs.
Jesus Christ, Asees. What's that?
Whoa.
How are you a fan?
Wait. I remember a while back, Jack, you and I were saying how we're not here for the dinosaurs, we're here for the character and the story.
Yeah,
That's what I'm there for. I got none of that in Jurassic
entirely.
World.
But then anytime I said...
But I care about the
But
dinosaurs.
then anytime
I
I
don't care
said...
about the dinosaurs.
But then
Fuck 'em.
Asees, why do you care if there's feathers or not?
That's because it's the in-universe stuff. I want the continuity between the movies. You can't just
Yeah,
have
agreed.
feathered dinosaurs
I'm
in
with
one
Asees.
movie.
There's
I'm
no
with Asees.
continuity in the movies. Let's be real. The designs keep changing, and they keep breeding new dinosaurs.
I mean, you're not wrong, but...
I mean, I don't want feathers on the T-Rex or anything like that. Like, that design is iconic. That's the thing.
No,
It's
feathers on any dinosaur would just be silly.
No, here's the thing. Keep the
Save that
raptors
for another
featherless, keep the
franchise.
T-Rex featherless. You can put feathers on everything else. That's fine with me. Just keep those
No,
two.
because then you've just got
keep
these
them
big
safe.
birds flying around.
Nah.
They were, though.
It'd just be, it just personally, it just would look crap.
I think that if you saw Crash McCreary came and did some feather designs and legacy effects and Industrial Light and Magic teamed up, I think that you'd find that some of the designs would be very, very interesting looking.
I think the thing is, like Asees said, I'm not in it for the dinosaurs per se. So dinosaurs to me are the ones in Jurassic Park. I don't like, other drawings of dinosaurs are like, meh, they're not Jurassic Park dinosaurs. Does that make any sense? Like, the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park are the dinosaurs that I see in my head. So, and they're scales. They have scales, and I'm in for that. They're creepy. With feathers, they're just these big birds. Just 6-foot turkey, man.
Sometimes realistic is not what you want in a movie.
Yeah, I mean they are genetically modified theme park hybrid. I don't know. Ryan, what's your view of this?
Well, I definitely don't want feathers. Jurassic Park 3, raptors. I love the design actually of every raptor in every movie for some reason. And I would say Jurassic World actually is probably my least favorite. But
yeah,
I thought the feathers on JP3. They were okay.
They were okay in my opinion.
It wasn't like feathers. They were more like spindly spike
quills.
Quills. And and the Indominus had similar quills on the back, which kind of I thought, since it was part raptor, was part of that homage to JP3 with the quills. Maybe not intentionally, but that's what I got immediately. But I feel like especially in the canon of the films, feathers would seem kind of pointless at this point, even though the science proves that it's real. I only think that because I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing some Mesozoic creatures and Ice Age animals in future films, which are going to be hairy.
You're not
themselves.
in it for the dinosaurs, so it doesn't matter.
It looks weird though. I don't want that in my Jurassic Park movie.
See, sometimes I don't think you realize what you like and dislike. That's
you know what? You're not wrong with that.
Asees is just confused.
This movie made me a man. Okay, I transitioned from boyhood into manhood with this movie.
The first 10 minutes where you cried your eyes out.
That was it. That was my last boyhood moment. And now I'm cynical and I hate everything.
Oh my god!
Wait, so Asees, was the dinosaur, you saying you don't like dinosaurs or don't care for dinosaurs? Was that the big bomb drop?
Oh no, I'm not buying the Blu-ray. That's the big bomb drop.
You told me this.
I'm not buying that shit. Fuck it.
You're not gonna buy any of them?
Nope.
Wow.
I've already spent like 60 quid buying Blu-rays, man.
They don't deserve my money, man. I don't want this movie. I'm never gonna watch it again.
I doubt that you'll never watch it again.
Okay, Chris, what was your least favorite movie of the year?
What was my what?
Least favorite movie of the year.
Least favorite movie of the year? I don't. Probably Age of Ultron.
Okay, are you gonna be buying that on Blu-ray?
God no, but I don't care about.
There you go.
I don't care about Marvel films at all. I watched them, I enjoy them, and I never look back.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, I mean, it's not like. I mean, like, I own Jurassic Park 3 now. Occasionally pop that thing out, but I don't like the movie that much.
I mean, we were kind of forced to buy that 3-pack, weren't we? At the very start.
Well, no, but I've owned it on DVD.
That was a good point, eh? Shit.
And, I mean, I own the Star Wars prequels. I don't care for them, but I do own them, and I will watch them.
I mean, I just don't want to have extra clutter in the house. I'm starting to, figure shit out. I will move eventually. I'm trying to defend myself against all the haters here. So.
Oh my god.
Clutter.
Listen, one day I'll have to move from this house and have to bring all my shit with me. The less shit, the better, you know?
But you're not even buying it on digital download.
I don't want to do that. It's so expensive, first of all. For a digital download, no thank you.
I'm shocked.
If it's like $15,
really
I'd consider it.
See, so you're gonna
$25.
You're gonna walk into a store. The Blu-ray's gonna be on sale for $15, and you're gonna buy it.
Chris, don't say that, please. I'm gonna fold.
So
You will.
It's gonna happen this week.
Yeah, I
How
think
dare
so.
you,
He's gonna,
Ryan. How dare you.
head out and buy
It might happen today.
Like, after this
Like he's
podcast.
gonna go into a store, see a giant Jurassic World display filled with like 1 million Blu-rays, and he's gonna go, "Shit."
Fine, I'll buy 5.
Okay, but I won't lie to you. That gift set looks really, really nice.
Yes, and it is nice. Mine's arrived.
Oh, you have the
Is it
Indominus one?
The Indominus and the Rex. Yeah, it came on
Nice,
Monday.
nice.
It
It
came
looks
in
so
sweet.
good.
It's very cool.
I
don't
would buy
know-
those separately, though. I don't want the disc. Give me those. I'll buy $40.
clutter.
Yeah.
Play with the toys.
Yeah,
You just throw the Blu-ray still in the bin.
takes up too much room.
Oh my god, I'm gonna get so much hate for this.
You are, man.
Yo, bring it. Let's go.
Everybody tweet Asees what you think of his
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
hatred for clutter.
man.
No, yeah. So, okay.
What were we talking
let's
about before that?
Well, I was going to say we should talk about the backdoor.
Yo,
Oh yeah.
Give us some backstory, Ryan.
Well, I was just on Twitter last night, and the first thing that I noticed was Realtors posted something. He was the first that I saw to post, and
Always.
and said there's a tab on Masrani, something about the passcode. And Chris, like I think you and I figured it out at the same time.
yeah, I
So
looked on
I'm
Twitter.
sitting there
Like,
going,
our tweets are right next to each other.
I'm sitting there going, I wonder what it could be. Rex? Nope. Nublar? Nope. Indominus? Bing!
Okay.
I'm like, oh!
Okay, so you're gonna laugh. You know what I immediately did? I booted up the Jurassic World Blu-ray. And I went to when Wu comes out of his lab and punches in a pin code to his paddock. Turns out that is 3825. That was my immediate thought. I'm like, it's gonna be Wu's pin code. So I go onto the movie and I slow it down and look at the buttons he presses on his pin code. So I immediately type in, I'm like, I got this, 3825, and I'm like, what? It's not it. I'm like, I'm never gonna figure this out. And then
That's some real dedication, Chris.
and then I type in Dominus and I'm like, oh, that was easy.
Yeah.
It was like deflatingly easy. Like there was like no should have been difficult, is my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I was super excited.
But it's a great site.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Go on, Ryan. Sorry.
Oh, no, but I mean, but as soon as I got in, I was like, what the hell do I do now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it took a minute to work out.
Yeah, and I mean, and then I had to go on Twitter and see what everybody else was doing, and I kind of got the gist, because I mean, I don't know how to do any coding or, but yeah, I totally felt like Lex or Nedry last night, just in there.
Yeah.
I thought actually the pass code at first would be like, something like or something reverting back to the original.
Please. yeah, I tried
Please.
I was like 3825 something, please, and then Indominus.
That's awesome.
I tried
it's
Ibris
good fun.
in Martel first.
Where did you guys hear about Ibris anyways? I've never heard of this.
It's one of the images. If you type LS, it comes up with a list of
Oh, actually, I haven't looked at
Is
this
it-
yet. I was studying for my midterm yesterday. Like a good boy.
IBRIS.
Is it Ibris or Ibris?
Ibris, probably. Yeah, I know, because it was on the Masrani Global website. It was, the acronym
Where?
was there. It was on, I
Oh.
think, the engine page. It was talked about, it
Yeah,
talked
it
about
was,
Hoskins
yeah.
allocating funds to Project Ibris.
Nice.
What's Ibris? Is that the Velociraptor thing you guys were talking about yesterday?
Yeah, I can't remember the... What's it stand for again?
Integrated integrate. I don't remember. Now I have to go onto the site.
Yeah, I'm on it right
Integrated
now.
Bioraptor something. Intelligence. Those
Okay,
words are thrown in there.
Integrated Behavioral Raptor Intelligence Study.
That's real cool.
I can
I like
never
that.
remember that. I can never remember that damn thing.
I liked Timac.
Yeah.
The New Blast Scout for Timac Construction. That picture was pretty cool.
Was there anything like big for like a next movie or something that?
There was a lot of hints towards what they're opened up in
Siberia.
Siberia.
Yeah.
Siberia. Like what?
I have to go on. Was it
Wu,
Archive and then
Wu
2000?
said in the email too that like he wanted to reassure that nothing is being made, only documented and stored for now, which makes me think, okay, maybe there's not at least like a Ice Age park somewhere else, because I mean we all assume that there's maybe different parks.
Yeah, it even outright says it's about like creating a larger genetic library. So it's not necessarily about creating those animals. It's about basically figuring out what secret genetics, what you can unlock with the genetic code. With all...
Yeah, it says Martel facility established in Siberia, Russia.
Did you... sorry. Go on.
No, go on.
Oh, I just kind of had a thought. Did you guys catch the... So, you know how they used frog DNA for the dinosaurs? Did you catch that they used poison dart frog for the Dilophosaurus?
That's real cool. Is this canon?
Awesome.
Yeah.
But I mean, as in for the JP one?
Yeah, for the original Jurassic Park.
Okay.
It's because it's from one of the old logs from Wu. It talks about how
cool.
the frog DNA wasn't working, except for I guess it worked for the Dilophosaurus. So they talked about switching over to non-poison dart frog for other animals.
I didn't see that one. That's cool.
I
mean, Jack and Tim have done an amazing job with this.
This is them?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess so.
Oh wow. Cool.
But it's really fun. I think it kind of just. What was it? You, Chris, who said this should have come out before the?
Yeah.
Before the movie?
I very strongly believe that this should have not just come out before the movie. This should have probably came out before the first trailer, because realistically speaking, it doesn't tell you anything that. Maybe the only thing it does is it gives away the Indominus Rex name sooner than what it should have. But beyond that, it doesn't really give you any spoilers. It just kind of goes into this depth of things that's kind of very teasy. And if
it's super JP.
Yeah,
like video
and
games.
this is viral marketing done right. It's interactive. It has depth. Mm-hmm. It has collaborative effort from the community. It feels. It has that viral sense to it, in the sense that what exactly does it all mean? I really, really enjoyed it. It's really, really well done, and I think that there's a lot to dig up in it. Talks about the lysine contingency. Talks about feathers. It talks about. It's even got the email from Simon Masrani to Wu about creating the Indominus. And it's a very short. It's kind of very short and like rushed email, and it's pretty funny because it literally Henry, I've just come out of a meeting, and the board are unanimous in their desire for a new park attraction to satisfy our investors. Something bigger, scarier, cooler. Any new species come to mind? You have my full authorization.
Yeah.
I mean, that's no reading between the lines there.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I love it.
So
yeah, no, that was good fun. It was that's some great marketing there. I mean, yeah, maybe before the movie it could have worked, but
not just before the movie. It should have been, at the very least, it should have been before the second trailer.
But it was good, and it was nice to see. I mean, it's been a bit dry. We've had a bit of Jurassic World 2 news, some Blu-ray stuff, but the hype has died down a lot. This kind of, everyone was going crazy.
Honestly, I hope this type of stuff continues up until 2018. Obviously, we're going to hit a bit of a dry spell because the movie is being written right now, and it's probably on lock. So it's not like a lot of people have the opportunity to build these types of websites. But I do hope that eventually this kind of continues, and it starts to really lead into the next film. And then it has that sense of like unlocking the secrets in advance. Obviously, nothing that you're not supposed to know. Basically based off of like what the trailers are going to go into reveal, but like allow the fan base to slowly kind of unlock what's to come and kind of get those hints where maybe they could put the pieces of the puzzle together and figure out what the premise is, because that's a lot more interesting to me than having the Hollywood Reporter come out and say, and the plot is this.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I'm excited to see how things progress, and once again, obviously, really hope we get a video game. But I shouldn't get my hopes up, man.
No, I mean, I think it's starting to get to that point where it's a fair want, and I think it's getting to that point where I think just Universal in general are going to take it more seriously.
Why are dinosaur games so hard to launch?
Dinosaurs aren't fun to shoot at, and
how dare you? They're amazing to shoot at.
Yeah, but if you're playing,
especially feathered ones,
if you're playing like a first-person shooter, there's like no real, gameplay with that. They charge at you like ravenous monsters, and you shoot them.
Man, you're not wrong.
We don't want exactly. I agree.
We want to survive.
Exactly, I agree, and that's why it's more difficult, because
hiding from raptors in a kitchen, like, you can't beat that.
That's
like,
the thing. You can't do that.
Isolation.
Yeah, they did it already. So anything else that's like that will be like a clone.
Alien Isolation, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh God,
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us is incredible, man.
No, I'm not. Absolutely.
That kind of survival, that kind of storytelling in a video game.
Survival adventure.
Just bring back Dino Crisis and I'll be a happy boy.
I don't want it to be first person. I really, I much prefer the kind of, behind the character, third person style. Like Last of Us.
Alien Isolation did first person really well, though. Like, I could not imagine, like, a raptor kitchen sequence in anything but first person.
I kind of see your point there. I much prefer third-person games for some reason. I don't know.
We're gonna get a Jurassic
I think it's just because I
Park
have a crazy love affair for Grand Theft Auto, so I think I just, I'm used to that.
The Far Cry game is, that's
Far Cry
third person,
Primal.
right?
I think that's first person. Actually.
Is it first?
Which game?
Far Cry Primal, the new
Oh my god, that looks so good.
Yeah.
But wait, but hang on. Wasn't Far Cry supposed to do a Jurassic one? What happened to that? It got like the highest rated. Like,
I don't know.
The highest
They're like,
response.
oh, you guys want dinosaurs? Okay, how about woolly mammoths and woolly rhinos?
Yeah,
that's close, right?
Yay, thanks for that.
So we've had a few questions in on our Twitter. Ryan, what do you think about the old cast returning? Since Bryce discussed it in an interview that so Bryce Dallas Howard basically said she believes that she believes that some of the main characters from previous films could return. She seemed very eager for Jeff Goldblum and Sam Neill to return. So what do you think about that?
I think it would be great to see them. I don't know if they're necessary. For the story. I think Jurassic World kind of built its own character development to continue on a new trilogy without them. However, I would have loved to have seen, even if it was just like an interview in a distant TV of Malcolm, since Jurassic World kind of pertained to him and what he talked about at the dinner table, which I love, by the way. It would be cool maybe in the future to see something, but I don't know the more I think about it, I don't know if it's necessary. But it would be cool to see. I think we might have a strong possibility of at least seeing Grant and Malcolm sometime in the next maybe the last one, if they make a third.
I'd love to know what they thought of Jurassic World.
Yeah.
I mean, out of all honesty, they probably saw it and had a blast with it. Honestly, I could see Malcolm returning, not as a primary character, as a secondary character, or as a cameo, like you said.
Like a voice of reason.
Or even like an "I told you so" type of moment, because he really, his attraction to chaos is palpable. So him getting himself mixed up into things isn't necessarily unfathomable. But Grant getting mixed into things more seriously, I just could not see. But Malcolm, it's possible.
I could see
him.
I couldn't see Grant because of, he's done. Like, they're like, oh, can you come help? Fuck off.
Yeah.
You clean it up yourself.
Like, you guys want information about dinosaurs? Okay, I'll send you an email. I'll call you on the phone. I'm not going anywhere near those goddamn things right now.
He locks himself in his basement.
I mean,
and hopes for the best.
Yeah, I mean that is his. And I mean we're basing that off of his Jurassic Park 3 character.
And, yeah, he's so done. He's so done.
And that's like they just stripped Grant of his personality in Jurassic Park 3, and unfortunately, even though I don't like the movie, I still think it should I think it should be continued to be used as canon. I don't
it's kind
like
of important, isn't it, for the entire future, considering that Vic Hoskins is only in Jurassic World and the events of Jurassic World happened because of Jurassic Park 3?
Yeah, but that's never said in the movie, it's only said on the website, so... I mean,
yeah, but it's canon apparently, so, I'm going to use that as an argument.
But again, I'm not arguing against the movie being used as canon. I mean, I think it is canon, and it should continue to be canon. It being a bad movie doesn't really change that.
No, of course it's canon.
Yeah.
You can't start, cropping out Jurassic Park 3 just because people didn't enjoy it.
Exactly.
You can excuse the games and the comics and stuff. They're not Jurassic Park the game. I don't think
even the website.
I started playing that and it's unbelievably crap.
Yep. Thank you.
Essentially, if Jurassic World 2 comes out and it invalidates something on MasraniGlobal.com, that's fine because it's still secondary canon anyways. It's canon until a film basically says it's not. But this has definitely been crafted very carefully to be canon. In fact, it's based off, it's very, very essentially canon. I would be surprised if Jurassic World 2 contradicted anything. But
I have another question here. The use of flares on the Rex goat scene in the forest decorated paddock seems like a huge fire hazard.
Yeah, right?
He's not wrong.
I mean, that's true. I've never thought of that. It totally does. Great scene though, one of my favourite scenes. The Lost World style forest there. The sauna.
Yeah.
Did the Rex look real weird in that scene though?
The T-Rex looked weird in the entire movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So somebody, Theme Park Monsters has said something that we've already really kind of reiterated, but Jurassic World left much of the park unexplored. Would you like a future film set in the same time as Jurassic World, following different characters?
No, thank you.
More of a miniseries.
Miniseries, yeah. Live action miniseries.
But move the story forward, though. Stop staying in the past or in the present. Let's go forward.
The thing is, guys, do you remember back when we were talking about what we think Jurassic World might be? I was saying I have a feeling you've got the survivors and the people running on the island, and then I was saying I think Pratt takes a load of survivors and the kids down into the underground tunnels of the island and in the aquarium and stuff, and that obviously never happened. They tried to get them off the island, but how cool would that be?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I really would like to see the events of Jurassic World from somebody else's perspective, or even maybe not the events of Jurassic World, but just events that happened in the 10 years of operation. Because there could have been smaller things.
Nothing crazy. It was a very functioning
nothing guest
and
related, but employee related. I mean, they could lose employees left and right and stay open.
Somebody's asked, would you have rather Jurassic Park's original sequel to be Crichton's Lost World or Spielberg's Barbasol idea?
Crichton's Lost World.
Barbasol. Yeah.
Wait, 1 second, guys. 1 second. I was on Instagram and I saw this picture of a raptor and something about a fifth raptor. What the hell is this?
Yeah, it's the Ibris.
It's from the... Oh, man.
Dude, go to my Twitter feed. There's
a fifth raptor?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was rejected. Man,
what does that
you
mean?
gotta check these viral
Yeah,
Dude, I
sites
have
out.
exams, man. I have no time for this shit.
I feel like it's
Okay.
always exam season for Asees. Am
Yeah,
I
it really
thinking
is,
crazy?
Well, I think he just
or
sleeps.
is it for the past year and a half? It's been I've got exams. It's exam
Man,
season.
exams are every 3 weeks, man. It's insane.
Asees is delusional, man. He's making it all up.
I think so.
He's not even in school.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan would know. He's a teacher.
He's just at Asees, are you just at the Canadian Hogwarts? And you just kind of
Man, wouldn't that be something else?
That's why it's you're in a
Got my
mansion.
owls every 3 weeks.
Nothing ever makes sense where you are. I mean,
Man, Canada's a backward ass place.
So we've had another question, which is something, again, we've already kind of talked about, is what do you think about the sudden huge marketing push for Jurassic World? And I think my point on it is it's nice, it's great to be reminded of the film, but it's very strange that it seems like they almost didn't have that much faith in it before it was released.
Yeah.
And now they're kind of catching up, and they're like, okay, we can do this idea now. We can put a massive gate up in New York for the DVD release, and it's kind of like, you should have done that before.
I love it. I still think that they're doing some swings and a miss, like the whole New York Comic Con thing. I can't believe they didn't tell people in advance about that. That would have been.
Or perhaps announce something else.
That would have been great if fans could have gone up there. Somebody, I'm getting some crazy feedback from someone.
That's some crazy feedback, right?
Like I can't even. Jesus.
Not
That's
it.
Asees.
How dare you?
Asees.
I'm seeing it on my thing, so it must be me. Yeah. I don't know why. And it's gone, I'm assuming?
Yeah, it's
gone.
done.
I was totally my phone, my bad.
Raptor purring in the background.
Yeah. I was just, it sounded like a zipper, a really long zipper, just unzipping to the microphone.
Well, he is in the bathroom.
Oh my god.
God damn it, Asees, keep your pants on.
Well, maybe Jurassic World gets me going, man.
Oh. I see how you like it.
So when Aziz says he's not into dinosaurs, that's just a cover.
It's like he's really into dinosaurs.
Super into
Shit, you guys are catching up to me now. I'll make some new stories.
We're pretty on it, man.
We got this. But no, yeah, they
Ryan.
should have told people in advance, so like fans like us, or at least fans that are a little bit closer, could have actually planned
I could have made it to New York, those fucking bastards.
I could have made it up there for that as well. I mean, that really bothers me that they never say these things in advance. And it's been an ongoing theme with Jurassic World's marketing, and only Jurassic World's marketing, where basically you find out about something the day of, or like 2 or 3 days later sometimes. Sometimes they don't even say anything, and it's like, oh, by the way, this happened. It's like,
were you gonna tell us?
Yeah. Did you guys know it was happening? Did you forget to tell us? What's going on, guys?
Yeah, because we could have covered it. It's like all these fan sites and these people that are around the world could have gone and given it, even more publicity.
Even things,
shared it with other people.
Even things like press kits and stuff like that. Like, it would be nice if press kits are digital, it would be nice. We've asked before, can we, get a lot more of the official information flowing our way? And we always get, yeah, absolutely, you're on the list. And then we don't get it. And I'm like, I don't understand what is going on.
It's like Universal tells us this stuff to shut us up.
I honestly think that there are so many departments and so many different heads talking to each other that they don't always know or realize that there is a lapse in communication. I think that a lot of times it's one of those things that they assume it's something I think that as the Jurassic team continues to form and become more of a unified and important franchise team, I think that we're going to see things improve tenfold, and I'm already seeing a lot of improvement in my opinion. I think honestly I'm very optimistic for what's going to come, and I think that's just going to go uphill from here. Uphill's always a weird phrase because when someone says it's an uphill battle.
Yeah, isn't uphill bad? Because you have to fight against the uphill thing.
Uphill battle is bad.
An uphill battle is bad, but going uphill on top of a mountain, that's not bad. You're on top of a mountain. How's going uphill bad? It's beautiful.
And if you get to the top of the mountain, you starve of oxygen and die like the guys in Everest, right?
How high is the highest floor in the mansion?
In the mansion,
is there depressed oxygen up there? Or?
Yeah, just under 26,000 feet, I think. So if you go too high, you die. So you gotta be careful.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's a real mystery. It's a mystery on how they built it.
We're not too sure ourselves.
Many people died.
Yeah. There's ghosts and shit. It's creepy. It's a Crimson Peak, except better.
Oh.
Crimson Peak was
Ryan.
a cool movie, but it wasn't. Nearly,
It was so boring.
It wasn't nearly as good. It should not have been a ghost movie. Simple as that. Very beautiful.
Del Toro doesn't know what the hell he's doing, except when it comes to making things look sexy as fuck.
I disagree. Pan's Labyrinth is absolute brilliance.
Oh man, Chris, we always disagree on stuff. One day we'll agree on something.
Yeah, I'm not a crazy fan of Pan's Labyrinth.
Wow.
But JP3 is the best movie ever made.
I thought The Lost World was the best movie ever made.
No, it is.
You're right.
So Ryan, I've been trying to ask you this for a while. What's your ideal sequel for Jurassic World?
No military.
Thank you.
I feel like the community right now is divided. I mean, and they're not like pitting against each other, but I feel like half of them want to see that plan of action where InGen just takes this into a military operation. We see perhaps even further developed hybrid raptors or smaller Indominuses taking over a battlefield, and I just scream,
No. I'm so with you.
I want that. I need the thing about Jurassic Park and the movies, the books, is that sense of awe and wonder that Crichton, I felt, embodied, especially in the first movie and that we saw in the first movie. And I felt like there were elements in Jurassic World that were trying to capture that, but they were like little fireflies that would just, like go in and out. And sorry, my metaphors are really crazy this morning, but
little fireflies.
No, I mean, I get it. Fireflies, like they burn bright for a second and they just kind of flicker into nothing.
And I don't. I'm afraid that the sequels are going to go down this dark path, and I don't want to see that necessarily. I understand the military aspect of it, but I'm also paying more attention to Colin's words when he says he's using it more or it's also used for agriculture and medicine and things that we'd actually see in the real world. And I don't know if any of you guys were into Dinotopia when
I was just about to say that. Yeah, it sounds like Dinotopia.
It was a good show. It was a fun show.
Good books.
But I mean, the books, especially James Gurney, the way he captured the images in the land of Dinotopia was so Jurassic Park-esque to me. But I love the coexistence of some animals. So that's kind of what, or the coexistence of the animals and the humans. Yeah. And so that kind of lured me into Jurassic World with Owen. I wasn't really against that if they did it right, and I think they did for the most part. But anyway, I hope that the future we're going to see maybe some more brighter interaction, something, that charm, that awe, like when Lex
Jurassic
is touching the Brachiosaurus.
It did not have that stuff. Awe. It did not have that sense of awe and wonder. And I hate the fact that people are like, oh, you've seen it before, you can't do it again. I'm like, that's absolutely not true, because that's...
I think it is true, though, dude.
No, it's not true, because people think that awe was just simply because you saw the effects. But then why is it that you can see fiction that does very similar things that you're still awed and wondered by it. Just like you can see somebody holding a baby tiger and you still have that sense of awe and wonder, because it's acts of nature, I think, are magnificent no matter how many times you've seen them. And the fact is, we've really only seen dinosaurs a very few times in that sense. And you can explore it in new ways, the way Ryan is saying, where you have these animals interacting as animals, these prehistoric animals but not as weapons. And I will say this, Colin hasn't mentioned military, in any of his interviews about the future of Jurassic World. He's talked medical, he's talked dinosaurs in the real world, he's talked competing companies. He's never once, mentioned flat out, InGen's militaristic plans, which I still think are going to play a role, but I think it's going to be a MacGuffin. I'm hoping that it's going to be very much on the back burner, and that these other themes take precedence.
I think my issue is that Jurassic World felt very, and we've discussed this before, it felt very, it wasn't, but it felt very much like a generic blockbuster in that no one was ever really in danger, and I kind of worry that the franchise is going that way. It's more about the stars and
it's about the money.
Chris Pratt's attached, and it's about this and that, rather than what made Jurassic Park so good and what made Lost World so good as a sequel, in my opinion anyway.
To be fair, Chris Pratt wasn't a super hot Hollywood star when he was attached to the movie.
No, of course. Yeah. And it's just, I just worry now because the first thing they said about the sequel was that Bryce and Pratt are attached, and it's but I don't.
Yeah, that was probably Universal wanting to get that out there immediately, though. I mean,
yeah, they're pumping it as a blockbuster, man, and they're going to start. It's not going to be the same, but look how much. No,
there's a reason why they're doing that, because look at how many people wanted Laura Dern, Sam Neill, and Jeff Goldblum to return for every one of the Jurassic sequels. Jurassic Park 4, they wanted it to be the return in the cast. So when they built this movie, they built it to say, okay, let's build this cast that people want
the
to have.
cast sucks so much.
But they haven't given us. The cast.
Whether or not you agree,
any of them.
whether or not you agree with,
there's
it
a reason we love Grant and Malcolm
Absolutely.
and Laura Dern,
and it's because they were
and they haven't given us the same reason
really
to love Bryce. In
deep
fact, the more I think about
I
it, I don't
Bryce.
like Bryce's character. Yeah,
She deserved to die.
she's
in that
annoying.
movie.
She's cold, and she has nothing nice about
She's
her.
not a hero.
strongly disagree.
She's not a hero.
So
Chris.
what do you like about her? The fact that
She
she can
never,
run in heels.
she never came off as cold to me.
What?
She is. Man.
No,
Oh, man.
have you guys?
That's the point of her
Have
character.
you guys ever met anybody that's like corporate and cold? I feel like you haven't.
Yeah,
Yes,
my mom.
and you don't like them, man.
They're not like that. I don't know.
My mom is.
Your mom's that nice? She was
Throwing shit
aloof.
at my mom. Love you, mom.
Yeah.
No,
Number one listener.
Bryce was aloof, but she never came off as cold. She came off as aloof and kind of sucked into a corporate like corkscrew, but she never came off as cold.
But
to
her
me.
character is look at Laura Dern.
Oh, Laura
And then look
Dern.
at Bryce Dallas
Laura
Howard.
Dern is a very.
And then-
She has her Ellie Grant. Ellie Grant. Jesus.
That's what it should have been.
It should have been Ellie Grant.
Ellie Sattler.
what the hell?
Oh my god. Yes.
Oh, shit. That's
Ellie
great.
Sattler.
Ellie Grant.
She was incredibly. I mean, she had a
It's the
sense
title
of
of the
depth,
episode.
and wisdom that Bryce Dallas Howard's character never portrayed. But that's the thing. Owen never portrayed that. Only character that portrayed that wisdom, in my opinion, was Masrani, and he was killed off.
Horribly done too.
Masrani
Prematurely, in my
Masrani
opinion,
was
too.
definitely, I think, the deepest character, which is kind of interesting. Other than Wu. Wu felt pretty complex. I think a lot of people have misinterpreted Wu as a conniving villain, and I don't see him that way.
Well, they played him like that.
And again, I didn't see that. I didn't see him being played that way
Chris,
either.
which movie did you watch? Because I want to see that version.
I think you see arrogance, Wu's arrogance, his book arrogance, actually. But it never came off as villainous. I mean, he very clearly was played by Hoskins. I mean, even when Hoskins talks to him on the phone, you see Wu's face, and he's just like, "Oh God, what did I do?"
Yeah.
He's an asshole. He's an
He feels
asshole.
like he's been.
He's not like a nice guy anymore. But he's not a villain. He's antagonistic in the sense that his arrogance is going to be the downfall of a lot of people.
I don't know.
Well, in defense of Claire, and I actually wanted to mention this before, the deleted scenes of Jurassic World I thought were actually much better than some of the actual scenes in the movie. Especially,
Yep.
I wish
scene.
the poop scene would have been in the movie. We heard
Yes,
about that
thank you.
before we even got like a real trailer. Like we heard that was going to happen, and I was so looking forward to that because that, to me, is like that moment where Claire kind of drops that naive persona about her, and she says, "Fuck it, I'm I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna prove everybody, not just you, but the audience, wrong." And I so wish they would.
Yeah, it actually worked. When I saw it in the trailer, I'm like, eh. And then when you see the full deleted scene, the dialogue between her and Owen actually provides a little bit of depth between the two of them. You can kind of get a feel for who they are, and you also see them growing on each other. And I think it was actually a really good character moment, some really it was well acted, and I think well written between the two of them. And I cannot figure out why it was cut. It makes no sense. It actually gave them that much needed depth.
The poop scene, was the one deleted scene which I can understand why it should have been in there, but it was way too on the nose. It was too cheesy, and I'm glad they cut that. But I think pretty much every other deleted scene should have stayed. At least the ones that were on the special features.
Yeah, and we know there are a lot.
Because there's a lot more.
Yeah, actually, that's the scene where they're hiding behind the log, and the I-Rex is clearly like walking. They hear the I-Rex walking, boom, boom, and Owen and Claire are holding each other. If you watch the special features closely enough, you'll see that scene's extended, because then there's a scene where they jump over that log, and they look behind them, and the log starts rolling down the hill towards them, and they run. So obviously the I-Rex attacked them, and they filmed it. And that didn't even make the deleted scenes. And
that's what gets me. They filmed so much.
I can't figure out what in the world, where did that fit in? I'm assuming it was before they hit the visitor center, but I don't know. And it didn't even make. But that's the thing. They don't talk about it on the Blu-ray. But if you pay attention to some of the B-roll, I think the Blu-ray is a mess. By the way, I think the special features are like web
There we go.
Are like web features. they're like web featurettes that are extended and have spoilers. It does not feel like a Blu-ray special
and we
features.
worry,
it is
man.
very disappointing. It has very good production quality and it's entertaining to watch, but by the time it's over you feel like you saw a web featurette. You do not feel like you just watched the Blu-ray. And I know we're wrapping here soon, but I just do want to, since we're talking about Owen and Claire real quick, did you guys watch the special features, right?
No.
Not yet, man.
Okay,
Tomorrow
well,
night, I'm not working.
Can I give a spoiler? Because we're doing the podcast real quick.
Yes.
Yeah, man, of course. I've probably seen half of it anyway.
The kiss between Owen and Claire. The kiss, it was not in the script. It was not in the script. They filmed it plenty of times without it. And then the one take, Colin just goes over to Chris and says, "Kiss her." And she didn't know it was coming. The whole crew knew it was coming.
Oh, it was
and that's
so
the take. That's
bad.
the take that they used, though. But I think it is kind of funny that like she did not know the kiss was coming at all. So her.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good directing.
I mean, her yeah, I agree. It was a really bad time for it because people are dying. I mean, Zara just got eaten alive. Pteranodons are attacking.
Yeah, we don't need that. That scene is so over the top.
Thank you.
Why was that happening to her?
The problem is it's
the kiss did not work.
Zara's death could have easily felt less like torture porn if they would have been like, oh my god, if you would have had like a moment of like the way in The Lost World after Eddie gets ripped in two, you get a line where I think
the man saved our
like the T-Rex just fed so they won't hunt us. If you're talking about Eddie, that man just saved our lives. Like that kind of concludes. The characters respect him, and you kind of get a sense of resolution. Like, it's awful, but you get a sense of resolution. With Zara, you just feel like you watch this, and by the time it's done, you go, did I miss something, and was I supposed to be rooting for the dinosaurs? And you're not. I mean, even Colin says, no, that's not the case. And that's why it doesn't work, because you feel like...
These are some rookie-ass mistakes, man. Rookie-ass mistakes.
But you've got to give... you've got to give him the benefit of the doubt, man. He'd made one film.
Yeah.
So these are the kind of mistakes that you can understand.
Things, young directors don't work for these big-ass movies. You have to have
I don't agree.
They don't make little mistakes.
Experience like Joe Johnson
Edwards
when
did it. Mark Webb did it.
Like
Colin Trevorrow did it.
Like Joe Johnson directed Jurassic World 3. Colin Trevorrow did a way better movie than Mark Webb with Spider-Man.
Yes.
Now, given I hear a lot of that is Sony's fault, and maybe Mark Webb would actually be able to handle
Sony
a
doesn't know what
franchise.
they're doing.
But I mean, it is what it is. I honestly like Jurassic World. I think Colin Trevorrow is actually incredibly talented. It's like really surprising watching that movie. It flows. I mean, I don't agree with a lot.
It definitely.
I don't
flows.
agree with a lot of the choices.
He does an okay job.
It flows. It's sleek. It works, and it's well put together, well directed.
Jesus.
It works. It doesn't do things that I wanted it to do, and obviously there are certain things. It simplifies a lot of things. It dumbs it down, like the character moment. Shadow. That dog.
Well, that is a sign. That is.
He's saying wrap up.
My dog's pissing off too.
All right, guys. It's been nice to speak to you all. Ryan, thank you so much for coming on. We'll have to do this again because there's so much more.
It's a lot of fun
to discuss.
Thanks for having me.
Any last words, Ryan?
No worries, man.
That sounded sinister.
Any
With a
last
gun to his
words?
head.
Well, I mean, I am American, so I mean, I've got my armory in my closet, and I. God.
Be careful what you say, Chris.
People might actually take it seriously.
Yeah.
I would just say, everybody enjoy the Blu-ray. It's out today. Woo!
Yeah, guys, this 14-year journey is over.
Finally.
It's weird.
I'm kind of sad. I won't lie. I'm sad about this.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I miss it already.
14-year journey is over. But there's a lot more coming in the future. And Dino-November is right around the corner. And I think that there's going to be some surprises.
And we will have some more special guests coming on. Stay tuned. Hopefully our next episode we'll have Jurassic Collectibles on, so stay tuned for that, because very much like Asees, he hates Jurassic World. Yes. So that'll be very interesting to to listen to. Anyway, guys, it was nice to speak to you as always, and thanks everybody for listening to the JurassicWorld.org podcast.
Take care.
Bye, kids.
Take care.